I'm Tamara Arnold. I am an author and a business energy strategist. I help you clear your 7 chakras to hold space to make a bigger impact with your mission in this world. What it was like before I wrote my book was desire. It was wanting and it was no action. It was not feeling like I had what it took to actually make the difference that I wanted to make. It was like not believing in myself or in the fact that I could make a difference in somebody's life. The year before I even wrote the book, I had taken a few courses that year because I knew that I wanted to actually have a business online that would help people, and it didn't matter what I was doing. I never actually achieved that goal until I wrote my first book. My lifestyle before I wrote my book was, it was actually one of scarcity. I'm not gonna lie. Right before I wrote my book, I believed with every ounce of my being that we didn't have the capacity financially to hold space for anything great in our life. I actually told my kids right before I signed up for the Author Incubator that we were gonna have the worst Christmas ever and not to expect a lot from Santa Claus that year. That's how tight things were and how little I believed that financially we were gonna be able to support ourselves and our kids. I'm not one to smudge or soften the way the experience of writing my book was. When I was in the Author Incubator for the 3 months to write My Kid Is Driving Me Crazy, it was excruciatingly awesome. Is that a word? Like, can we put those two together? Excruciatingly awesome, because you become your book. You have to live through your book. You have this desire to serve, but you have to be willing to look at what it was in your life that you're writing about. Even if you've gotten past it and you're like, oh, I'm past this, I don't need to think about it. So there is a place where it's the most uncomfortable experience to become the person, to become the author, and you do it so quickly. But this is why it was so exciting at the same time, because I'm was surrounded by other authors who were experiencing the exact same thing I was experiencing. So there was no loneliness, or is this the right feeling, or am I taking this too far, and this emotion that I'm feeling, or this sadness, or this incredible extreme emotion of like, oh my God, it's happening. Because literally everyone that when we got on the call was going through the same thing that I was going through week to week. So I wrote 2 books with the Author Incubator. The first one was probably a little bit more uncomfortable because I didn't understand the capacity that I needed to work on myself through the process. Like, it was so cathartic at the same time, but I knew that I was an author by the second book. I wasn't afraid to be an author. And so having the confidence in myself writing that second book as already being a best-selling author allowed me to show up in a bigger way and to create more content that I knew that was going to be even more pivotal in the lives of those that I was here on this earth to serve. What was really, really amazing is that in the Author Incubator, one of the little side program was how to make $10,000 before you even wrote your book. And that was a game changer for me. So I decided in the first 3 months that I was in the Author Incubator that I was gonna make the same money back that I spent on the program. And that's what I did, because I received all the information that I needed in order to be that person. And so that changed my financial history and my financial story tremendously. I went from not even being able to afford Christmas for my kids to being in a place of abundance and having clients come in and creating online programs and being able to support and guide and transform the lives of the people that I was here on this earth to serve. And this all came because I decided to be the person who wrote the book and showed up to serve the community and the tribe that I was writing this book for. We're looking at booked revenue as my first year, and it was really interesting because in 2017 I had this dream, because I turned 40 in October of 2017, and I had this vision of becoming a $250,000 coach before I turned 40, and I did. And so my booked revenue hit $250,000 by October. I closed the year just over 300. My second year, it's just over 400. And my goal for 2019 will be somewhere around $750,000 to $1 million in revenue based on writing the books and supporting the people through the books. So what I'm actually going to be teaching my students today is something called the energy funnel. This is, we can get really caught up on doing things externally to create the momentum in our business that we think we need. So the Facebook ads, I need to get this coach and that coach, and we can get completely distracted from what it is that we're actually meant to do. And so the energy funnel is going floor to floor through your chakra system until your root. What it actually feels to be able to do this work, the work that, you actually know you were put on this earth to do, and not something that you're just going through the motions every single day, is transformative not only for you as a human, but it's transformative for the people. Like, there is nothing more powerful than a true connection between you and somebody else, and watching them achieve a result or an emotion or a feeling that they had been holding back on to step into their power. When they start serving their community and tribe, it's like I am empowering people to change the vibration of the world. So a day in the life of Tamara, the intuitive life coach, business energy strategist, is like we get to define the day that we want to be living into. It's like, when you used to write the perfect day or the perfect week or what your year looked like or all those kinds of things, you get to seriously do that. So like I wake up, I meditate, I write, I journal, I spend 3 hours on self-improvement work, and then I don't get in front of the computer until 10 a.m. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do all my upfront calls, I have group calls, and then I've created space because we're getting into this to be writers and authors. And so I've allowed myself 2 days of the week, Mondays and Fridays, in order to simply write books, write copy, write content, write like the very thing that I was put on this earth to do. I get to do it every day as much as I want to do, all because I made the decision to step forward and be the author that I was meant to be. So it's so amazing.